Good morning, BigSquareRoadRunner.com with your morning horn of Z's. Your sip of coffee, blood red coffee. As I have been saying for like a zillion years since the silver days, with a click of a mouse, they can put the price at $0 or $1 million of anything they want with computers and derivatives. And they did. It is harvest time. This is what they call it behind the scenes. Harvest time for cryptos. They did the same thing for silver. It's interesting they're not doing it now when they can still. But yeah, this is what harvest time looks like for the market riggers. They play their games. Why do you think nobody got into Bakkt? They all knew it would be harvest time. They can go into the OTC market and pick up cheap cryptos. Yes, Bakkt will pick up more volume and all of a sudden there'll be a moonshot at some point when they are ready. This was a setup. It was a perfect setup by the market riggers and those in the establishment who are looking to get their hands on some cryptos. All they have to do is click a mouse and drive the price down 20%, 30%, 99.999%. That's what you get in rigged markets. That's why I've been screaming at everybody in cryptocurrencies about market rigging, about volume. It's all about volume. We need different exchanges. We need a different way to transact business. We need something like Veritasium. Why do you think they're locking up Veritasium? Why do you think they're going after Reggie Middleton? It's not because they dislike him. It's they dislike what he invented. And he invented a way around their damn system. Will Veritasium survive this? I do not know. I do not know, truthfully. I do not know. They can shut him down, or they can use they're probably going to steal all his Veri and then implement some kind of Veritasium solution to our criminal exchanges. But anyway, yeah, the big rundown. If you were still looking to get in, waiting for the right moment, yeah, it's a good moment. Could it go down another 50%, 90%, 100%? Absolutely. Click of a mouse. When will it turn to bottom? I don't know. Did you pick the bottom when Litecoin was $24, $22? Most people didn't. So yeah, dollar cost averaging, just use half your money and get in now, half your money and get in a week, half your money and get in another week. Bitcoin Ben's right. Dollar cost averaging is a winner. And hodling is a winner. This is the future. You should not have any doubt about that. But look at the volume of Litecoin. Look at the volume of Litecoin. In the last 24 hours, $4 billion worth of Litecoin traded hands. What's the total market cap of Litecoin? $3.4 billion. Do you remember selling your Litecoin? I didn't. It is a scam. It is a fraud. It is criminal, but they don't give a shit. That's how the criminal system is run. That's why we need cryptocurrencies, not these exchanges. We need cryptocurrencies to solve the problem, decentralized exchanges, where there is no criminality because it's all math and it's open on the blockchain. No, Bakkt is not the solution, obviously. I hope everybody saw my little presentation yesterday with the derivative, how big the derivative problem is. Again, it was designed, it was set up to destroy the system totally and completely. And it will. What day it does that, I don't know. It'll be the day that the computers lock up. You want to know more about that? Go to Crypto Viewing, if you ask me. So yeah, lots of bargains out there. Today I'm actually, you sit there and you go, God, if I only had money. If I only wasn't all in. I'm going to do some rebalancing today. I'm actually going to sell a little bit of silver to buy a couple cryptos that I like at these low prices. I'm going to be buying Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. 50-50 of each. Now, you guys might have seen in the last couple of weeks, I'm getting a little more excited about Bitcoin Cash. I think in the long run, Litecoin is the solution. In the short run, Bitcoin Cash should do better than Bitcoin. if there's a banking collapse, which I believe is coming, Bitcoin Cash is much more useful. The use case for Bitcoin Cash is obviously much better than Bitcoin because it's faster and cheaper, and you know all the reasons. And it's ready to go now. That's what Roger's been running around the world doing, is making Bitcoin Cash usable for humanity. And we didn't need it. We didn't need it. We haven't needed it for a hell of a long time. And we still don't need it. But the very moment the banks collapse, we will need it. That's my major argument for Litecoin. But they got to set up the Lightning Network. It will go faster and faster when it comes, but Bitcoin Cash will be out there also, ready to go right now. So yes, I think I'm going to buy a healthier amount of Bitcoin Cash than Litecoin. But yeah, I'm going to sell a little bit of silver just to rebalance my portfolio. And is it a pain in the ass to go to the silver shop, sell the silver, take the cash, buy cryptocurrencies? Yeah, a little bit. Is it fun? Hell yeah. It's great fun. Is it a good move? I think so. Litecoin just got, in the last week, 30% cheaper. and silver has gone up in price. So yeah, it's a good rebalancing time. Bitcoin Cash, it's got even more cheaper, 33%. I hope that makes sense. And silver has not been knocked down. You know, I'm used to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% drops in silver over a couple of weeks, over a couple of months, 50% drops in silver. I was there when silver went from $50 down to $35 in a week, which is a monster hit. But that's how the rigs is played. That's how these criminals harvest. Is it illegal? Absolutely. You got a problem with it? What are you going to do? You going to jump up and down and scream about it and cry about it? I have for 20 years. And I'm continuing to do that. You know why? Because it's wrong. It's wrong what they do. And if you don't jump up and down and scream about it, nobody will. That's my take. So I have been. And hopefully, I know on the road to Ruta, we've got tens of thousands of people who learned that these markets are rigged via computer programs written by Alan Greenspan, blah, 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 blah. Rigged 100% of the time. There's no moment that is free market traded in any market. The gold market, the silver market, the FX market, the bond market, none of the markets are freely traded. None of them. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, I might unload a little silver. No, I'm going to. That's my plan. Unload a little silver and buy some Bitcoin Cash and some Litecoin today. Will they go down? Probably. They'll probably keep going down. It doesn't mean it's going to go down forever. Am I going to pick the bottom? No, I don't even think the bottom's here yet. But it's going to run so fast when it lets up. Because all these people, the harvesters, the people who were told, who were in the know beforehand, that the cabal came and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get all these weak hands in. We're going to talk about backed and how much that's going to add to the cryptocurrencies. And then we're going to release it. Nothing's going to happen. We're going to slam the prices down. Then you guys get in. Then we're going to let backed run. That's the way the game is played. And if you're in the know, it's great. It's free money. If you're not in the know, and if you're a regulator, you know as well. Because your boss is saying, no, don't look at this. Turn away from this. Insane. But that's the world we live in. And what's going on in the regular markets? Bum, bum, bum. Impeachment for Trump. These Democrats are criminals. Why did they do it? Because Trump is ready to arrest a third of Congress. Everything from taking payouts to all kinds of criminal activity, especially the pedophilia stuff, especially being part of that crazy Comet Pizza cabal of pedos. Jesus, the whole thing is just insane. They are scared to death. And they screwed up again. Trump's 50 times ahead. So Trump says, bring it on. And yeah, absolutely. And then we have this today. The Attorney General says Trump, Ukraine whistleblower had a bias. Oh, surprise, surprise. In favor of a rival candidate, retains Clinton and Schumer attorney. So Trump knew all along. They already had the goods on this whistleblower. The Democrats walked right into this trap. The Trump administration is set to release a document from the Intelligence Community Inspector General, which concluded that the whistleblower behind the explosive allegations against President Trump had a political bias in favor of a rival candidate for U.S. president, according to Fox News, citing senior Trump officials. What's more, the whistleblower had retained attorney Andrew Bakaj, who interned for Schumer in the spring of 2001 and for Clinton in the fall of the same year. Meanwhile, the White House has also been working as fast as possible to release the whistleblower complaint involving phone conversations with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to Congress as long as it's legally possible. On Friday, Trump described the whistleblower as a partisan and that he had a totally appropriate conversation with Zelensky, warning the press that they're making a gigantic mistake. Quote, "You know, the press has had a very bad week with Justice Kavanaugh and all those ridiculous charges, and all the mistakes made at the New York Times and other places," said Trump, adding, "You've had a very bad week, and this will be better than all of them. This is another one. So keep playing it out because you're going to look really bad when it falls. And I guess I'm about 22-0, and I'll keep it that way. Keep asking questions and building it up as big as possible so you can have a bigger downfall." He's even warning them. They're fucking walked right into a trap. This is insane. No, it's not insane. This is what a cornered rat does. And what's going on? Oh, gee whiz, who'd have predicted this? Global stocks tumble, futures sink as traders brace for political quake in Washington. The world stocks fell to a 2-week low and U.S. equities futures failed. Now, no matter what happens with the IG report on the bias of this whistleblower, they're going to keep going forward with this impeachment stuff. They won't stop. You know these people. They are ridiculously trapped idiots, pedophiles stuck in a corner. And they're going to take down the system. And that's the other thing. They want the system to crash. Again, there's 3 sets of very powerful people who want the system to crash. There's the good guys. They want the system to crash because they want to start something new. There's the bad guys. They want the system to crash because they want to hide all their mistakes and they want to take over global control. And there's the Democrats who want to just win the election at all costs. Everybody wants the system to crash. And the system is so collapsible right now. Just hang on tight, my friends. It's going to get worse before it gets better. That should be instead of my emails where I say, may the road you choose be the right road. I think I might change it to, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm going to leave it there until this bullshit is over. And then at some point I'll say, it's going to get better before it gets worse. But we're a long way from that. All right. A guy I followed for, I don't know, since he was in jail, Bern Armstrong. Brilliant guy. I think there's more behind him, obviously, than what he tells us. I think he is working with the good guys on some level. Again, he was a computer programmer back in the 70s. There was a handful of them. They stuck him in jail for 7 years for not giving over his computer programs. And from jail, this was the weird thing that why I think there's something else going on. From jail, he would write these big, long, usually handwritten, big, long history lessons on, the history of money and conspiracies in government and all that stuff. I mean, that stuff doesn't just get stuck in your head. Because supposedly they wouldn't let him use a computer and they wouldn't let him have a library and all this stuff. And he's coming out with these amazing handwritten stuff. Something stunk about it. And something has always stunk in my mind because he's not turning people, he barely talks about silver. Barely. He doesn't understand the road to Ruta theory, or he says he doesn't. He thinks it's bullshit. I think he's wrong. I've proven he's wrong, but whatever. Anyway, interesting article on liquidity crisis. Here's the comment. People basically will say, "Oh, you're so great, Martin," and then he'll post their email, and then he'll talk about stuff. And the talking about stuff is really cool. So this is, if you guys want to check him out, go to ArmstrongEconomics.com. Here's the comment. Marty, you've made many unbelievable forecasts in so many markets around the world, but your forecast that we would see liquidity crisis after Labor Day and dollar hoarding is at the top of the list. There's nobody who saw this coming. Excuse me. Your computer can see things that nobody can. Looking forward to Ontario this year. He does a yearly conference. 2 more board members are coming because of this forecast. Amazing. And here's the reply. This is what I've been saying. You cannot forecast something you have never witnessed and has not taken place ever before. It takes a computer with a vast database to see things unfold according to historical patterns, but in markets that never existed before. Now, it takes a computer with vast database, or it takes a computer that rigs everything anyway, which is exactly what's going on. We have a liquidity crisis unfolding because of massive uncertainty. In October, Draghi leaves and Lagarde enters, who believes the answer is to eliminate cash. This is causing dollar hoarding, and there are more $100 bills in circulation now, with 70% of the physical money supply being hoarded outside the USA. Do you think it's time to destroy the old system? I'm just saying. Even Australia is hunting money aggressively. They are even proposing nanochips in $50 bills and up to be able to track hoarding. So smart Australians won't hoard Aussie dollars? Will they use foreign currencies? Duh. I mean what I say that the central banks are trapped. People have no idea what we face. The system's unraveling, but not even those in government have understood how it was interwoven to begin with. This is all part of how we are headed into a major monetary crisis cycle, and I fear they will misunderstand it once again and create more stupid laws that will bring the entire house of cards down by the time we reach 2032. I would say 2032 was ridiculous. We're not going to make it that far. Everybody knows we're not going to make it that far. You should know if you're on the road to Ruta. And the plan is not to make it that far. I don't actually think Martin believes that we'll make it that far. If you just play out what has taken place in socialism, there will be 400 trillion of unfunded liabilities by the time we get to 2032. That cannot be dealt with. And I suspect we will see more authoritarian usurpation down the line. This is also why I've stated my fear is not Trump, it's what comes after Trump. I agree. But, no. Of course 400 trillion can be dealt with. It can be dealt with the same as the 22 trillion right now. Computers and derivatives until the game is over. So, you tell someone we're going to have $22 trillion in debt 20 years ago, they're going to say, you are insane. That can't be dealt with. So, Martin, you're wrong that 400 trillion can't be dealt with. If the system stays in place and the computer rigging programs stay in place, of course it can be dealt with. You can make it 400 quadrillion that can be dealt with. Absolutely. How about a quintillion? How about a Google? How about what Ruta wrote in the sand, which was infinity money? And we know now that they are printing money and not telling people about it. Look at Catherine Austin Fitz's work. But she's just scratching the surface. We are at infinity money behind the scenes. Unlimited. Look up in the sky with night vision goggles. You'll see where most of that money is being spent. Governments have functioned on vote for me and I will rob someone else for you legally with a pen. This is how all republics die. The very purpose of civilization was that coming together created a synergy that was beneficial for all. When government is always turned against one class for the benefit of another, the purpose of civilization ceases to exist, and you revert back to separatism. Read Atlas Shrugged. When it was published, all the socialists hated it. Quote, this is from Atlas Shrugged. You should have read that by now. Most people read it in high school and college. Quote, when you see that in order to produce, you need to obtain permission from men who produce nothing. When you see that money is flowing to those who deal not in goods but in favors, when you see that men get rich more easily by graft than by work, and your laws no longer protect you against them, but protect them against you, you may know your society is doomed, and that's exactly where we are. They say it is wrong to discriminate for race, religion, sex, or sexual orientation. But it's okay to discriminate against anyone who disagrees with those in power or those with socialistic agendas if they have material wealth above average. This type of discrimination is perfectly fine because it suits their agenda. They will not survive without trying to live off other people's money. What happens when the productive class refuses to produce? When Atlas shrugged, it all comes crashing down. Do you know that when Ayn Rand published the book, she received the worst reviews ever? The press was socialistic, agreeing with FDR. Despite having the press trying to prevent people from reading it, fearing the book would be against their socialistic philosophy, Atlas Shrugged has been ranked as number 2 in the most influential books, just behind the Bible ever written. People like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren refuse to listen. They want to create utopia for themselves, convert the productive class into slaves, and expect them to work without enjoying the fruits of their own labor. And it gives a list of the most influential books. Number 1 is the Bible. Number 2, Atlas Shrugged. Number 3, The Road Less Traveled. Number 4, To Kill a Mockingbird. Number 5, The Lord of the Rings. So buckle up. We're going to witness things many never even thought were possible. This may be the real confrontation between good and evil. Absolutely. The good guys and the bad guys. It is happening now. We are in the middle of this transition. You want to stay on top of it? Join the Road to Ruda. Go to roadtoruda.com, hit subscribe today, and I will send you a silver Ruda coin, the coolest coin ever, and when it hits $25, I'm not giving those babies out anymore. And if it falls back under 25, I'll probably get it out. If I do give them out, I'm going to up that subscription price a lot. So now's the time to get it. And Theta Fuel and Theta. Great cryptos for the future. You don't even have to know about cryptos because I put them on a paper wallet for you. Just shove it and the coin in your safe and you're set. All right? So, all you guys crying about cryptos, don't. It is harvest time for the criminals, for the animals, and those are the same people who are going to drive the price to the moon, so just hang on. Let them play their games. If you have any pennies left, go look under the couch and try to get some quarters out and go buy some Litecoin, go buy some Bitcoin Cash, go buy your favorite cryptos because they are going to run like a mofo when harvest time is over, which it could be any day. I don't know what day, but you will see it in like a 10% jolt right back up. A real quick jolt down and then a 10% jolt up and then a 20%, 50%, 100%, 1,000%. All right, you guys, hang in there. I'll talk to you later.